The Matrix has attacked me. What an epic fall from disgrace. You're dubbed the king of toxic masculinity. You have millions and millions of fans all over the world. You're appearing on Piers Morgan claiming to be a billionaire now based in Dubai. And then shortly afterwards, you get taken apart on Twitter, completely owned by a 19-year-old autistic girl, Greta Thunberg. And to top it all off, hours later, you've been escorted out of your residence in Bucharest, Romania, into the back of a paddy wagon and taken off, accused of being an organized criminal, a rapist, and a human trafficker. What a story. So, Andrew Tate, a guy I've commented on a few times already on my channel in different videos. I'll link those videos above and down below in the description here. He is in a lot of trouble and he's currently sitting in a Romanian jail. When I make this video, it's the 2nd of January 2023. Happy New Year. Anul nou fericit in Romanian, something that maybe Andrew Tate is going to have to work on now that he is sitting in prison. So let's get into a little bit about how he ended up there, the real reason that few people talk about that's been obvious to me for the last few years that he was risking. I do also have a background as a lawyer, so I can cast my little bit more discerning eye over what's been happening and how he ended up in this situation. So let's go. Hai să mergem.
SAR Experience.
So first of all, let's take a look at the part of the Romanian government that is conducting the investigation into Andrew Tate in Romania. And it's called, I guess you would say DIACOT, maybe to make it a initialism, but it's Direcția de Investigare a Infracțiunilor de Criminalitate Organizată și Terorism. And that means basically that it's the department investigating organized crime and terrorism. So this is not like some small issue for Andrew Tate. This is pretty serious. This is a highly specialized and important part of the Romanian judicial system that investigates, organized crime, the mob, and terrorism. So he's in a lot of trouble if these guys are investigating him, deem it worth their time to be investigating him. And actually the allegations, when I took a look at their website and what they posted as a press release, their three main allegations are organizing a criminal group, traffic in human beings, so human trafficking, and rape. These are all extremely serious allegations. And I'm not really surprised that he's in this trouble because for years, Andrew Tate has been boasting in his videos, whether it happens to be on YouTube or on other social media, like on Facebook or on TikTok or Instagram. He has been boasting about his behavior, both in the United Kingdom and in Romania, that corresponds with these allegations.
I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheated, you cheated. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. Shut up, bitch!
So he's been calling himself, for example, a digital pimp, and that basically he ran a video chat business where he would get girls to work for him on the basis that they were in a relationship, and basically then they would hand over most of their money to him after working on video chats.
And that's where I made my most money. When I had 4 girlfriends, my brother had 4 girlfriends, me and my brother, 8 women living in one house, and all the women adored us and they obeyed us. And at the peak, I was turning over 400 grand a month.
Normally something involves, I guess, pornography, taking off their clothes, stuff like that, I guess. That's normally what happens on these video chats. And he's also boasted about even how he manipulates the men into spending lots of money, basically persuading them that the girl is really interested in them. And on top of that, he said things like that 40% of the reason he left the UK is so that he wouldn't have allegations of sexual assault. Ugh. So in short, he's just been very reckless and brash in terms of his statements, whether it's actually true or not, because Andrew Tate, in my experience, you see in the other videos they reacted to, he is very economical with the truth and tends to exaggerate, if not outright lie, an awful lot of the time for attention. This was giving him part of his attention for his brand, the fact he was claiming all these outlandish things, pretty sordid things. It always struck me as like, what's so cool about claiming that you're manipulating both men and women into handing over lots of money for basically what is a fantasy, and you got them involved in, yeah, kind of like, I guess it's part of the sex industry, the porn industry. Just for me, it always struck me as something that wasn't particularly appealing about him. But this is a massive problem when you have complaints against you, because basically for a prima facie case, a case in which the courts and the police are going to take seriously enough to investigate, well, you have set up a pattern of behavior, basically said that your modus operandi in general for making money involves manipulating women with a lover boy method. And you've openly stated that on camera multiple times. That's actually also in the press release from the Romanian government, from this department, is that they use the lover boy method and that they are in fact trafficking women and setting up an organized criminal group, and also allegations of rape. So absolutely mad that he was boasting about all this before, because, you know, as far as the court's concerned, we have complaints by some women about activity that he's already boasted on camera and claimed to be true. So there's definitely a pattern there that needs to be investigated, one would think quite logically, and now he's sitting in a Romanian jail. He can be held for up to 30 days. The court extended it from the original 24 hours. He's trying to appeal it as I'm making this video. Let's see how that goes. And in fact, at the end of the 30 days, the Romanian authorities, the police can go to the court and have that extended again and again and again. So he may be actually sitting in prison for quite a while, potentially, while they investigated. He also claimed he has lots of passports. That kind of suggests that he might be a bit of a flight risk. He also said that he had moved to Dubai. I don't really know why he went back to Romania then, once he had these previous complaints again. I think it was back in April. So basically, he has presented himself as a criminal, and then, shock horror, who would think that when people complain about you, that you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Now, this is not the only thing that he's done to draw attention to himself, because in particular in Romania, Romania is sensitive, the Romanian government is sensitive to accusations that the country is corrupt, because it causes some political problems for them with respect to the rest of the European Union, including, say, for admission to Schengen, which is the travel-free zone within Europe, includes some states that are not actually in the European Union, like Norway and Iceland, for example, and then most of the member states of the European Union, countries like France, Germany. You don't have to show your passport. It's like there's no permanent internal border, right? And Andrew Tate has also been, in the past, claiming that Romania is great because there's lots of corruption and that he can take advantage of it.
Why do you choose to live there?
In Romania?
Yeah, I know you have like businesses and things going on there, but why there?
I like living in countries where corruption is accessible for everybody. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe and pretend that... No, but I'll tell you why. Because he'll sit there and go, no, this is the law and order, and pretend that the law means something. So the whole idea of law and order is a lie. The whole idea of it's bullshit. It's just about, if you're high enough, you can throw it all away. I'd rather be in a society where if I'm in Prague and they stop me for speeding and they say, bro, you were speeding. Oh, here's $50. All right, cool. Bye. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play.
Not great. optics is it like when you then have these accusations against you that you're basically trafficking women in Romania? On top of that, he had previously joined the Orthodox Church in Romania, which is the main religion in Romania. Romania, in fact, I think it's the most religious country in Europe. Well, it's definitely the most religious in the European Union. And that is the main religion that is in the country. And then he went and he converted from Orthodox Christianity to Islam, and then made videos calling Christians pussies because they don't want to stone women for adultery like in the Bible. Basically talking like he's a member of the Taliban Tate, you could dub him.
Christians are complete pussies. Christians ain't done shit. Guess who else is a Christian? Will Smith. Adultery is in the Bible. You're not allowed to be adulterous. It says in the Bible to put her ass to death. And you won't even question her. You won't even raise your voice. I am now officially a Muslim.
Also not going to go down well in Romania, I feel. And actually, potentially, he was starting to talk like a person who could be on a terrorist watch list, potentially. And this is the same department that deals not just with organized crime, but also terrorism. Not going to go down well, obviously, that. To top it all off, since we have this war in Ukraine, since the February 24th invasion, or extended invasion by Russia, I'm speaking to you from Lviv, lovely Lviv in the west of Ukraine. Andrew Tate has also been outspoken in support of Vladimir Putin, also Steven Seagal, who backs this war. So again, he's sitting in Romania, a country that borders here, Ukraine, that's part of the West. It's a member of NATO, it's a member of the European Union. It's potentially a risk of being involved in a military conflict with Russia. And he is praising the leader of Russia, again, and he has a massive social media platform on which he could spread that message if also Romania was dragged in militarily directly into the conflict.
I think Putin is misunderstood. I think he's a misunderstood man. I think that he's been in power for a very long time. I think he's extremely smart. I think he genuinely cares about Russia and Russians above other countries. It's Russia first, Russia. Russians, Russia. Russians, Russian. And for that, I respect him. Most other countries don't do that.
Again, something that's going to bring a lot of attention to you, to this department as well. So, yeah, potential national security risk because he kept running his mouth off all the time, outlined a modus operandi for being a criminal, and now he has complaints by women, allegedly by women who were there with him in Romania, with the same set of facts that he's already outlined. Absolute crazy that he went around doing this for years. I was wondering when this was going to catch up with him, because if you're going to make yourself such a controversial figure, you're obviously going to have a lot of people who don't like you. And once you start outlining that you're a crook, at some point, people are going to start to take it seriously, and it's not just banter, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So that is why Andrew Tate is sitting in a Romanian prison right now. He does have the presumption of innocence until he's found guilty, if that turns out to be the case. But this could have been easily avoided in reality if he didn't run his mouth off and boast about all these things, or if they are true, if they're not true, it's kind of irrelevant to why he's in trouble. Because if you're going to boast like that, then eventually you are going to get a knock on the door from the authorities. So yeah, that is the situation. And Andrew Tate probably should have invested in an insider to guide him around Eastern Europe and pick the best places for him and live a really high-level experience, one that a real top G would enjoy. The Zara experience, of course. So if you don't want to end up sitting in a Romanian jail cell facing maybe a decade or two behind bars, then maybe you want to invest in the insider, as one of my former clients called me. He was ironically actually based at the time, he was Western European, but based in Romania. And you know, definitely I can guarantee you none of my clients would have ended up in this kind of situation as Andrew Tate has, because I have been spending more or less the last decade in this region. I'm actually here in Ukraine, in Lviv currently, in the west of Ukraine. And if you want to have an unforgettable weekend for the right reasons in Eastern Europe, then perhaps the Zara experience is the experience for you, as opposed to the Romanian gel experience that Andrew Tate is currently enduring. So down below is an application form to the Zara experience because it is by application only. And before you do that, you should check out my playlist, link it up above, again down below in the description, with some more information about the Zara experience. You go and have a good idea before you apply, see if it's a good fit for you. I'm here in Lviv, but unfortunately with the Russo-Ukrainian war still raging, I'm not currently going with clients to here in Ukraine, Russia or Belarus, but have been in Moldova and Kazakhstan recently with clients. Moldova, the country that Andrew Tate actually dubbed White Africa, another video that I reacted to, but it has been pretty amazing and great alternative going from here actually with another client to Latvia in Riga. So for now, basically I am taking clients to Moldova, Poland, Latvia and Kazakhstan. So if you're up for that, then apply, and it could be you living the Zara experience very soon with me in Eastern Europe. So that said, I'm going to leave you with a short message to Andrew Tate, since he's probably working on his Romanian from his jail cell, since he's got a lot of free time. Andrew, ce culoare este celula ta din închisoare? See you in the next video. Do побачення from Lviv in Ukraine. La revedere din Lviv. Ciao, ciao.
Zara Experience.